here I have a Patreon where I post 3 extra videos per month if you're interested. So let's begin where we left off last time, which was, I just need to make sure that you can see clearly. Okay, page 206. An AI program to come up with messages for love hearts, sweets, suggested, bear wake, meet made, and you're back. Messages in the first takes of rock included Do you love me? Do you love Sprats? And Sarah Robert Peel. Names of bell-ringing pills include the reverse Canterbury Pleasure, the Yorkshire Surprise, and the I can't believe it's not Yorkshire Surprise. There is a bell that's been ringing in Oxford non-stop for 178 years. The first ice hockey referees use cowbells, not whistles. The first ice hockey pucks were made from frozen cow dung. The first American footballs were meant to be spherical, they just weren't blown up properly. The first rubber bands were made from inner tubes of car tires. The minty flavor of toothpaste comes from pine trees. Colgate has trademarked the Tooth Fairy. Lloyd's of London insured Cantot's teeth for 4 times more than they did the Titanic. Deadly's Tea's chief tester has his taste pads insured for £1 million. There are more coffee houses per person in London. There were more coffee houses per person in London in the 1700s than there are today. The man who invented coffee pots doesn't use them because they are bad for the environment. In Asian China, adulterous men were punished by having their penises removed. Oh God. 25% of Americans have had a pubic hair grooming injury. Gooseberry bush was 19th century slang for pubic hair. Okay. Côte de Morbs was Victorian slang for temporary melancholia. Muffin wallover was Victorian slang for a gossip. Loiter's sake was 17th century slang for a slacker. Argon is Greek for lazy or late. When the chemical compound thioacetone was first distilled, it smelled so bad that it caused anyone within a mile of the lab to vomit and fall unconscious. Scientists can tell what sex a person is by studying their brain alone. By swapping your phone screen, a researcher can find out what you eat, where you've been, and what medicine you take. The World Mobile Phone Throwing Championships take place in Finland. When the Russians invaded Finland in 1940, they were so sure they'd be welcomed that they brought musical instruments with them. During the war between India and Pakistan in 1947, King George was technically at war with himself. Pakistan was originally Pakistan, an acronym representing Punjab, Afghan province, Kashmir, Sindh, and Balochistan. Karachi beat for the 1960 Winter Olympics despite its temperature never having fallen below 0 degrees Celsius. When the 1964 Winter Olympics were threatened by lack of snow, the Austrian army carried 40,000 cubic meters of it up to the ski slopes. fluorescent strips is a living thing. The current 50-star US flag was designed in 1958 by a 17-year-old as part of a school project. He got a B. A retired UN official has spent 25 years collecting 14,000 do not disturb signs. The official retirement age for Russian men is 2 years above their average life expectancy. Alzheimer's cannot be definitely diagnosed until the patient is dead. Jason Bourne is named after Ansel Bourne, one of the most famous amnesiacs in medical history. Type A and Type B personalities were made up by a tobacco company. Smoking the venom of the Sonoran desert toad is said to be like having a Force 5 hurricane in your head. How did they find that out? Scientists in Morocco have created a scorpion milking machine that can extract venom from 4 scorpions at once. The man who invented condensed milk also invented an amphibious horse and cart equipped with a mast and a sail. Krampusing was a punishment in which sailors' hands were tied above their heads and buckets of water were poured down their sleeves. The heat-proof sleeve on the outside of a disposable coffee mat is called a zarf. Defra gets through 1,400 disposable cups a day. 69 ants' nests in the UK have listed building status. UK Control of Noise at Work regulations 2006 recognize no distinction between a factory and an opera house. The Ministry of Defense's official book of abbreviations is 373 pages long. Perisology is the unnecessary use of rather more words than are necessary to get the meaning of the words across to the majority of people in a meaningful manner or way. I think it was worded like that on purpose. A philodox is someone who loves their own opinion. To perintinate is to put something off till the day after tomorrow. Parorexia is the desire to eat strange foods. Britain's leading apple researcher is severely allergic to apples. The US once had over 14,000 varieties of apple. Today they only have 90. There are only 90. The original Bramley apple tree has a fan club in Japan. iTunes customers have to agree not to use Apple products to create nuclear weapons. Oh well, I didn't know that. What am I gonna do now? MPs in the Ukrainian parliament must leave weapons and explosives in their lockers. MPs in the UK parliament are not allowed to call each other assets, kids, rats, sots, swine, idiots, tarts, cowards, hooligans, or gutter snipes. The Habeas Corpus Act became law only because a portly lord was counted as 10 votes and the opposition didn't notice. The British Labour Party is the largest political party in Western Europe. The Romans drank turpentine to treat depression. Frankincense is used in Oman as a stomach soother, cough medicine, blood thinner, wound cleaner, and fly repellent. King Edward had a liquor specially created for him to drink while driving. Prairie voles can drink the equivalent of this is called an embarrassment. The man who invented the plastic garden flamingo dressed in matching clothes with his wife for 35 years. 16 tons of clothing are abandoned each year at the start line of the Boston Marathon. These are names of the two most famous football commentators in Russia are Gusev and Utkin, which means goose and duck. Before he became a billionaire, Roman Abramovich ran a company that made plastic ducks. Piggy banks get their name from the Old English pig, meaning clay. Every new car is first modeled in clay by a sculptor. In 2017, Bentley launched a new off-road model fitted out for falconers, complete with a perch and a gauntlet compartment. Migrating birds are welcomed to New Zealand every spring by the bells of St. Paul's, Papua Nui, ringing for half an hour. Birds in cages hop in the direction they would migrate if they could. More than half of all species on Earth are moving their habitats due to climate change. The average frog breeds 8 days earlier than it would have done 10 years ago. 65 million years ago, there were frogs that ate dinosaurs. Dinosaurs were living on Earth before Saturn got its rings. The world's oldest rock, cock, is 4.35 billion years old. The world's largest gold nugget had to be broken up because it was too big to fit on a bank scale. Only 0.05% of the Earth's mass is water. Glaciers can move faster than a spinning train. Gravity travels at the speed of light. Super Mario's jumps and falls suggest he lives on a planet with 8 times more gravity than Earth. Jupiter is so close to its moon Io that it causes the ground there to bulge and contract by hundreds of feet every day. Jupiter is known to have 79 moons. Pluto's equator is covered in plates of ice made of methane. Not all humans have methane in their farts. Henry II had a court jester whose Christmas dance featured a jump, a whistle, and a fart. A Yule shard is someone who's still preparing for Christmas on Christmas Eve. At 3 p.m. on Christmas Eve, 40% of Swedes watch Donald Duck. Buying every gift mentioned in the 12 days of Christmas would cost £27,016 and 92 pence. Irving Berlin presented himself with the Best Original Song Oscar for White Christmas. Silent films had musical accompaniment to drown out the noise of the projectors. Horror films are the only movie genre in which more women appear than men. The film Fargo was released in Hong Kong as Mysterious Murder in Snowy Green. The night vision camera released by Sony in 1998 had to be recalled because it could see through people's clothes. The first Sony Walkman had 2 headphone jacks in case it was thought to be antisocial. The 2014 version of the Walkman was sold inside a bottle of water to prove it was waterproof. Queen Victoria owned a bulletproof umbrella. movie body part was Andy Warhol. Wilhelm Röntgen took the first X-ray of his wife Anna Bertha's hand, seeing her skeleton make her gasp, "I've seen my dad." Dinosaur skeletons are increasingly bought by wealthy private collectors because museums can't afford them. The Cat and Cabinet Museum in Amsterdam has works of art by Rembrandt, Toulouse-Lautrec, and Picasso, but only the ones featuring cats. The tagline for the National Poo Museum in the Isle of Wight is, "Have you been?" Berlin has carried the Sausage Museum. Wow. The smell of Play-Doh is trademarked. Valium is present in potatoes. Alcohol is 114 times as dangerous as marijuana. How can it be as and then 14 times? 140 times. Does it mean more? Okay. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was banned in Malaysia because morphine sounded a bit like morphine. Growing once meant the snout of a pig. Dogs inhale through their nostrils and exhale through the slits on the sides of their noses. A poodle Rottweiler cross is called Rotiepu or Rotidoodle or Rottweiler Poo. All Jack Russells are descended from a dog called Drum. Dogs visiting U.S. national parks can be certified as park rangers. The first public parks in the U.S. were cemeteries. In the 1840s, Mount Auburn Cemetery ranked alongside Niagara Falls as the nation's most popular tourist attraction. To tackle the problem of expanding cemeteries in Brazil, the mayor of Piritiba, Miriam, suggested that death be outlawed. The mayor of High Wycombe in Buckinghamshire is weighed every year to see if he's got bad during his term in office. Plants make up 82% of the mass of all living things. Only 30% of Hindus are vegetarian. The DNA in your body could stretch to Pluto and back again 17 times. The sun is closer to the earth during the UK's winter, not the summer. The Qing dynasty. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. People swap their pillows in the summer for cooler ceramic ones. Ancient Greek soldiers once went on strike for softer pillows. The software in new cars can contain up to 100 million lines of code. The mysterious green code that begins all the Matrix movies is in fact the recipes for sushi. Matrix is Latin for womb. Japan's oldest born movie actress retired at the age of 80. The skull of the world's oldest Dutch woman has been carbon dated at 13,000 years old. 5,000 years ago, the most popular tattoo was a sheep. Mentioning the girl with the dragon tattoo on your dating profile increases your replies by 1/3. George, is it the 4th or the 5th? I always get confused, so avoid it. Had a dragon tattoo. It's illegal in Indiana to tattoo your eyeballs. is a Czech word meaning to mispronounce your R's. Bats have regional accents. Bats eat so many insects that they save US farmers $22.9 billion a year. Farm soil quality can be checked by wearing a pair of underpants and seeing how long they take to decompose. Experts have warned people not to boil their underwear in hotel kettles. English women didn't wear underpants until the 19th century. In the early 1900s, women in Chicago would be fined $50 for wearing a hat pin over 9 inches long. The first mass-produced bicycle for women was called the Lady Cycle. Penny farthings weren't called penny farthings until they were almost obsolete. The Royal Mint made only 7 pennies in 1933. They were enough in circulation, but they didn't want to miss a year. 60% of 1p and 2p coins are used once, then put in a jar. Pickpockets. In 17th century Russia used the sharpened coins to slice open their victims' purses. The Bitcoin network uses more power than the whole of Serbia. The Serbian equivalent of saying bless you to a sneeze is go away kitten. Looking at photos of puppies and kittens helps you concentrate. Paper wasps. No, every other wasp in their colony by sight. The record distance for throwing a paper plane is 69.14 meters. Truman Capote took 6 paperweights with him wherever he went. The world's largest collection of the world's smallest version of the world's largest things is based in Kansas. The world's largest key collection includes the keys to the White House toilets, the Mozart's wine cellar, and Hitler's bunker. The credits for the film Airplane included Adolf Hitler as worst boy. Rescuing a damsel from the train tracks only ever appeared in films as a spoof. Oscars are not given for stunts or casting. The sound of the doors on the Starship Enterprise was made by pulling a piece of paper out of an envelope. The sound at one Deep Purple concert was as loud as 3 people in the crowd fell unconscious. The Welsh mythical hero Coleridge had a battle cry so loud it was said to sterilize women. Gulf Corvina fish have sex so loudly they deafen dolphins. Click beetles can withstand 40 times more G-force than a fighter pilot. Montenegro is a member of NATO but has no fighter planes. In Japanese bullfighting, there are no bullfighters. The only ants in Iceland are in a zoo. Indigo plants aren't blue. Dogs see in blue and yellow. Lizards in New Guinea have lime green blood. There are over 4,000 pubs in the UK called Red Lion. In 2017, a pub in Cardiff apologized to a group of priests who'd been asked to leave by staff who assumed that they were on a stag do. The Pope mobile used by John Paul II on his visit to Ireland can be rented out for stag parties. After the Reformation, pub were changed to the king's head. King's holly, a Tasmanian shrub, is at least 43,000 years old but has never been seen to flower. There is an 8-continent called Zealandia, but 94 of it is under the sea. 500 times as much uranium is dissolved in the sea as is under the ground. Plutonium remains toxic for at least 100,000 years. Amazon owns more than 100,000 robots. The research that led to the founding of Google was funded by grants from the CIA. The CIA stages fake conferences to lure professors they want to recruit. In 2018, the University of Miami appointed the U.S. first professor of atheism. The inventor of the barcode first drew it in sand in Miami Beach. In 2013, a stolen prosthetic arm was found in a second-hand shop in Bournemouth. Mary Shelley is buried in Bournemouth. Robert Louis Stevenson wrote Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in Bournemouth. Cumberland Clark, the band of Bournemouth, is widely considered to be the second worst poet in the English language. I think we've read enough for today. I am starting to get a little bit hungry. So this time I'm gonna leave my bookmark here and we'll continue. Hopefully I will post a longer version. Oh, we're halfway through the book. Almost. Yeah, you can see almost halfway through. Hopefully the next one will be a lot longer. I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Sweet dreams.